Stardate 54950.7. The Tenshi has been assigned a patrol cruise in the Nolia Sector near the Tholian Boarder as tensions continue to rise between the Federation and the Tholians. While things have been quiet for some time, long-range sensors have detected a derelict vessel adrift in open space. We're currently on course for that derelict. End log.
Right, just as the log stated, the Tenshi is currently on course for a derelict vessel that's in open space, and we will cut to the bridge, where the senior staff is still at the holodeck. Joking.
Longest holodeck episode ever.
Right?
Carter, who wandered off in the holodeck, wasn't actually in the holodeck when it ended, for some reason.
Okay. You're probably about an hour or two out from the actual derelict vessel. Is there anything you guys wish to do in the meantime?
I want the ship at yellow alert with shields up, and I would like somebody to review any traffic reports in this area from nearby outposts, star bases, and any other Starfleet ship that happened to scan through this area over the last couple weeks.
To kind of go over the reports, I think that's going to be a reason plus con. Difficulty 2, assisted by the ship's computers plus con. Essentially, kind of go through all the traffic reports and picking things out.
I could probably nab that one.
Okay.
What was the attribute?
Reason con.
Yes, reason con.
I don't
Computer.
think any of these would apply.
Computer helps. That helps you, as it were.
Well, it turns on technical expertise.
Good.
Don't think my computer focus would work though.
No.
I'll give you a threat to roll a third dice. Oh, wow. We're getting off to an excellent start. I'm gonna re-roll one of those with my technical expert.
Okay.
Just so the ship can assist now.
I will go ahead and just let you succeed at this, and I will type it out to you.
Lieutenant Sarissa, forgive me if I'm wrong here, but I don't believe it's a Tholian tactic to plant like a derelict ship. And even if it was, we'd probably figure it was a Tholian designed ship anyway, yeah?
In general, I don't think so, but
Hmm.
if you want someone out, using one of their own vessels would be more acceptable. Well, not acceptable, but more intelligent. We're more likely to get one of our own than one of theirs.
Yeah, check some of the security reports. See if there's any mercenary groups or criminal organizations that work with the Tholians. Because if they were gonna do something like that, they can't really put Tholians on those ships without us knowing. It would give the game up if that was the case. But Hopefully I'm worrying about nothing, but it's better to be prepared than not.
Just a reasoned security or something. That correct? Oh, you're typing to myself. Wait a second.
Yeah, they're typing probably.
Yeah.
This is
Captain,
going to be real quick before you say that, Vogel. Sarissa, give me reason plus insight plus security difficulty of 1.
Okay.
Computer security from the ship?
No, this is just going off the character's knowledge.
Of reports they've probably been reading on and off.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Ship momentum gained, and Vogel, go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you on that.
Yep, no worries. Captain, there's not much information on this derelict starship. It appears that we're the first to come across it. Most of the starship traffic in the area has to do with the Tholian border. Starships coming and going, transport vessels being redirected.
So officially, nothing Federation should be out this direction. Officially, of course.
As far as I can tell, Captain, that is.
And that means it's probably in a Starfleet vessel. I'm not sure whether to be happy about that or not.
Captain, this, as far as I recall, not a Tholian tactic.
Oh, they don't even do that at all then.
Well, not the Tholians, last we know, or last I know.
Mm-hmm.
People change.
Yeah.
If it is an outside party working with them, they might use it, but them themselves, no.
Okay. That lines up with my thought of how Tholian culture works. It doesn't seem like it doesn't dovetail into how they normally operate. Dr. Quinn, I assume your teams are ready in the event we need to effect a rescue?
Of course, Captain.
Very good.
What are the odds that it's a derelict Tholian vessel? Perhaps it's an opportunity for a rescue and a chance to mend relations.
It's actually Khan, how far, or Khan Ops, either of you, how far are we from the frontier right now? Does it make sense for them to possibly have blown off course and gone and somehow gotten past the borderline? That is to say, if we're only a light year or two away, then I understand. But if we're a significant distance away, then it raises questions.
I sent you something, Vogel.
Sorry, I'm in the middle of trying to get food organized. Because it came just as the game. So the captain's inquiry was.
If this ship was like, how close is this derelict to the border between us and the Tholians? Because if we're only like a light year or two away, then it's like, that could happen. You could accidentally blow by the border and just happen to be on our side. But if they're like really deep into our territory, it's like, that's odd that a Tholian ship got that far without us noticing, derelict or not.
Gauging off of the astrometrics charts, Captain, it looks to be very close to the Tholian border.
All right. In that event, Dr. Quinn, you might want to brush up on Tholian, or rebrush up if you haven't already. If you have already, rather. Rebrush up on Tholian physiology, what little we know of them, if we have to affect medical aid to Tholians. As I recall, any interaction with a Tholian has to be taken with great care for both them and us, since their environment is so different from ours. I think it's downright hostile, if I'm not mistaken, to non-Tholians.
Hi, Kim. We'll need to set something at the medical bay just in case. We'll get on that now.
We could prepare EVA suits in advance, Captain.
Yeah, let's have some EVA suits set aside in both transporter room, let's say 2, and in the shuttle bay, just in case we need to deploy them. I mean, even if it isn't Tholian, if it's a derelict ship with no life support, that's something we'll need anyway.
Sending the request through now, sir.
Lieutenant Commander Thurstran, how's the ship status? Are we at is all things green, as it were? We'll make sure there's no persisting problems of our own before we roll over there.
So far, everything seems to be rolling in with green across the board, but you never know when we might develop something, sir.
All right.
Now crossing into open space.
Oh, and just to clarify, Jam, I want to make sure I got it straight. Is this open space as in it's unclaimed, or open space as in there's no star systems in the area?
It is unclaimed.
Okay.
As in, this is actually purposely done between the Tholians and the Federation, that there is a gap of space, a region between the two borders, essentially a no man's land.
Okay.
There is no star systems within this region except for one along the Tholian and the Federation border. It's
So not a
sort of
strict
like
DMZ. Oh, go ahead.
it's not like a DMZ or a neutral zone. It's more of, hey, we're not gonna bump up to your borders if you don't bump into our borders,
Okay.
and we'll just leave this open.
Okay. I'm going to read over real quick the standing rules of engagement between us and the Tholians. I assume that Starfleet has a don't fire unless fired upon order. Because we're not officially at war with them. We're at just that weird tension moment of two fleets staring at each other. Which, that isn't disconcerting at all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
You're also not to engage the Tholians.
Oh, so I don't even hail them if I see them.
Unless they hail you, you're not supposed to hail them, and you're supposed to avoid them at all cost unless they attempt to engage you, but proceed with caution.
Mm-hmm. In that case, this may very well be a Tholian ship we're running into. That's gonna be fun. He mutters at his pad like, "Oh, I don't like how these numbers are adding up, but oh well." One doesn't sign up for Starfleet to do the safe thing. Oh, want to do that? Hang back at Kate or something. Pick flowers in Vulcan. Go climbing on Andor? I don't know. I don't know what they do on Andor. That's fun. Everyone stay on your toes. And as far as the captain's concerned, he waits.
We'll fast forward a little bit as time has passed, and on the view screen you can see a strange alien craft. It does not appear to be of Tholian design.
Con Ops, can you identify the type of craft we're looking at? Or is this some sort of cruiser or freighter, perhaps? Scientific vessel? I know we're looking at something distinctly alien, but any preliminary scans and observations would be appreciated.
I'll get a scan
Uh,
of the vessel, Captain, and cross-reference it against our database.
Very good.
Reason Science difficulty base 2, so diff 1, assisted by the ship's sensors plus science.
Can someone roll for me?
Sure.
And I'll use a momentum to try and cautious.
Science, throwing a caution at it. Sensor op focus, presumably.
Yes.
Bang. And bang.
4 momentum gained.
No misses.
Thankfully, no. Sorry. The ship got a 0. So you could re-roll that with your tech if you wanted.
Might as well.
One more. This may very well be a first contact situation, if it's... Or just a new ship design. I mean, it's not unheard of, well, except for the Tholians, but I've heard of some species outsourcing their ship designs to others, but generally, as I understand it, most people like to stick to shapes and ship frames that they can easily build.
Captain, the ship does not conform to any known Starfleet designs. It is running on low power. So does appear to be warp capable, and I am detecting 2 faint life signs.
Any sign of a distress call or that their life support is stable?
That'll be first question.
That's the wrong thing entirely.
Life support is stable. However, the oxygen levels are thin, and I am reading a colder atmosphere.
All right. Standard hailing frequencies. See if they're at all awake over there. For all we know, those low life signs may be normal for them.
I am detecting some damage to the hull, but it doesn't seem to be from weapons fire. Appears to be from solar winds, maybe a solar flare.
Which theoretically could knock someone out of warp and push and force them to drop late or early, as the case may be.
There are no responses to hails, Captain.
Well, when someone's broken down on a planet, it's impolite to just drive by and not say hello. Let's move into transporter range.
You currently
Actually,
still have one free question left.
if anyone has any suggestions, I asked the questions that came to mind for me.
Um,
I suppose, I don't know if this question was, we kind of already asked it and answered it, but is the life support, if we go over there, does their life support our life? Like, it's cold over there, but is there air breathable by us?
It's thin. It is breathable, but you probably don't want to be breathing it for too long because it is lower oxygen levels.
So we
But
probably want some.
it's like
Oh, go ahead.
rebreathers or something.
Rebreathe. There's a triox before we go
Yep.
over. Okay. Yeah, that's the only other thing I could think of off the top of my head. Patch your findings down to Dr. Quinn. See if there's anything he's worried about on this. Now that I think about it. And also, this will be a heads up that he doesn't need the Tholian chamber anymore.
Aye, Captain. And I'll relay that the findings to sickbay. And I will also report that I am not detecting shields currently up.
Scale wise, how big is this thing?
A little bigger than like 2 runabouts, so it's rather small.
Okay, so it's not something we can pull into our shuttle bay.
that makes it what, a scale 3-ish?
Scale 3, scale 4.
It's still technically scale 2. It's very long, to put it precisely. Like if you had stuck two runabouts, kind of together, they're that long. It's I should probably describe it a little bit differently. It's construction of the vessel. It seems almost crude in a way, like things were thrown together.
Like a kit bash.
Yeah, kind of to an extent. Like some parts are like, well, that shouldn't fit there, and and then they've made things just work together in this ship.
Probably more a civil design or non-professional ship design.
Or
Probably independent or a very bad naval yard either way.
Or put together two pieces of two different crash ships to get something
Yeah.
that works. What do they call? No, that's a Star Wars thing. They're called the Uglies in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. What class of ship is that? It's an ugly, sir. Is that an official designation? No, it's an ugly. You throw a bunch of stuff together and hope it works. Most of the time it doesn't. Looks for data, wonders if the scans. If we have scans of the life forms, precautions, that's isolation here. Yeah. I suppose one of the questions would be, can we identify what type of life form is on sensors?
The readings are too faint to get that.
So we need to be closer. All we know is they're faint.
You're probably like in medium range of the actual derelict, if not closer. You did start moving the vessel in there, but the readings are so faint that it's really hard to tell what the two life signs are.
All right.
I will give you to this. The vessel does look like it's been adrift for a bit.
I just thought of. Well, we have momentum. From what you can tell, Vogel, do you believe that if we pulled this ship into our shuttle bay, do you believe that it's at risk of a core breach of any kind, or any other hazmat that we can detect?
That directed at me.
Yes.
But I heard none of it because I literally just got back at the end of it.
The question was, if you, from your scans, do you believe that the ship's going to have a warp core breach or any other hazardous materials that you can detect? Because I'm thinking of pulling it into our shuttle bay to have a more controlled environment while we help them.
The ship is a little bit too large to fit into our shuttle bay.
Oh.
It's a little bit too long. But I'm not detecting any power fluctuations.
All right.
I apologize. I had to step away for just a second. So, was there anything after Vogel spoke?
No, not yet. Not quite yet.
Yeah, think of the ship as like scale 2.5.
Yeah, it's just long enough to be annoying to our
Yep.
to our shuttle. It's like we could, if we jam it at a weird angle, technically, but we probably don't want to do that. We'd never get it out again.
But we also have incredible tractor beams.
Yeah. Hmm. We can check something here. Or no. Bridge to Dr. Quinn.
Go ahead.
I'm going to have you assemble an away team to go over to the ship and see if our wayward travelers are actually in need of assistance. Your rules, your mission directives on this will be that we are to offer the aid, but if they just tell us to go away, then we have no call here to force aid. But if they want aid or seem to be incapacitated, then feel free to render aid as you feel medically necessary. I'm going to be sending along a security personnel, at least one security person with you for your safety. Do you believe you need any further assistance?
Could use an engineer in case there's something wrong with that ship when we get there.
The Shran? He nods at you.
Sure, I'll meet him there.
That should do it, Captain.
All right, just wait by transporter room 2, and you might want to bring, according to the readings, it looks like you might need some triox or a rebreather, so I'll trust your judgment on which one you'd rather use, if not both.
Better to have it and not need it. I'll take both.
And you might want to bring on your cold weather jacket as well. Readings seem to indicate that it's not freezing, but it's cold enough you'd notice.
10-4.
Is that me going over, or should I send one of my personnel?
Your discretion. If you have someone you want to get some away team experience, I won't say no, but I know you're good for the job.
My thinking is that Specialist Sai is experienced with hazardous environments.
All right, send her down. Actually, GM, do you mind if we throw a momentum to have a medical team with Dr. Quinn? A medical team advantage, I should say. Unless you wanted a medical support character, Quinn, sorry.
No,
Jumped the
medical
gun a
be
little bit.
You're only gonna be able to do a max of 6. 6 medical teams are.
Usually more than one person.
Yeah, you're already at 3. I'm probably gonna have to say no on this one.
Sure.
At least
That's why I was kind
on
of
the
fuzzy on it
extras.
myself.
Like, unless you do a separate transport for a medical team, I don't think you'll be able to send it with the first wave.
Could just bring 2 of the support characters and not use them unless needed.
Yeah, just send Desmond and Sabrina.
Yeah, this way we don't get the hit unless we need to.
Yep.
That works for me.
I just opened a random security sheet, realized we'd never used her, and she could be suited for this. So
Yeah. Who thought that? Well, I thought up the specialties when I was making her. That's one the hazardous ones. Like, oh, that's a neat one from the security book. Like, oh, I'll throw that in. That looks neat. That might become useful someday. All right, off you go, Thishran. Doctor's taking the lead on this one.
Understood.
And while they're over there, Lieutenant Sarissa, keep an eye. Have a tractor beam ready to lock onto them if needed. But until we make contact, I'm hesitant to lock it on without their authority because it could be construed as a act of piracy, since we're in open space. I'm trying to be as accommodating to our lost friends as possible.
I understand, Captain. We don't want to give them one of the Borg's preferred greetings.
Mm-hmm. And Lieutenant Vogel, I want you monitoring the away team's comms. No need to pipe it over the bridge for now, but just keep an eye out. If anything comes up, let me know. And you can act as liaison with them as needed.
I got them.
Looks like all I'm missing is a security person, yeah?
Nope, that's her. I know
That's
she's
the specialist.
smiling and it's deceiving, but
She's nice.
security.
Friendly Betazoid.
Mhm.
We're all friendly.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
She knows exactly what you feel when she shoots you.
Um.
Let's not go there, please.
All right, Captain. Way teams assemble. We're ready to transport when you are.
That is going to be a control plus engineering, assisted by the ship's sensors plus engineering. Mental math. So base 2 drop by 1 the transporter pad, advanced sensors, so diff 0. Difficulty will be of 1 since it's not on a pad.
I'll grab Leaf.
Yeah, bold engineering, tactical expertise. Tactical, not tactical. Whoops.
That's
I said
new
that
talent. New
and
talent.
had to think about it for a second.
It's diff 1. There's no need to throw 1 bold at it. Why not? We might generate. We don't need to generate momentum. What am I doing? You're not getting that threat. No. Control engineering. Plus the ship. So much float.
2
Two
float.
float. Oh no, it's now easier to do transportations
Yeah.
to and from that ship.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good advantage. Could we spend those 2 float toward having a sensor lock on the away team so we can beam them back easier?
Sure.
Short of them throwing up their shields, obviously, because there's not a whole lot we can do when that happens. I keep clicking on the wrong chat. There we go.
Alright, does this make me easier to hear?
Yeah.
Sweet.
New scene, so you go down 1 momentum.
Boop,
Ha ha
boop,
ha. I need everybody in the away team to make fitness plus con difficulty of 1. As you suddenly, as you beam down in and you think you're touching the solid ground, but suddenly you feel weightless and you're kind of all getting ready to like bump into each other and collide or hit a wall as you're experiencing 0G.
You said difficulty was what?
Difficulty is 1. Fitness plus con.
Uh,
All right.
is the voodoo here? No, I'll just roll. Would hazardous environments count as a focus for this? Oh. I tried.
Probably more like EVA or
Yeah.
0G training.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me get a momentum from you, Cap.
Sure, sure.
Think we have one.
I'll spend 1 for Desmond. Because their con's not great.
Yeah, I'll probably give
Or
one
fitness
for
for that matter. God.
I'll probably throw one for
Come
Sai
on.
as well.
She made it.
Okay, Sai gets that one back at least.
I'm gonna roll in Discord right now. Ooh, one success.
That's all you needed.
That's all you needed.
All of you get your bearings as you remember your zero-G training in Starfleet. There was one momentum gained out of it. So,
Oh, there was, yeah.
so you're at you find that the walls are not designed by an atypical starship design, at least in the advent of making grav plating. You find that every wall has some sort of function or console on it. It would appear that this ship was designed to operate in 0G for its crew. But you could definitely see your breath, the cold, as you're breathing out. It's pretty chilly. And it is a little difficult to breathe due to the low oxygen.
Yep, breathers on, everybody.
The ambient lighting is rather dim. It just seems that most of the light is from either some sort of emergency lighting or the panels that are lighting up the walls of the vessel.
Commander Shran, let's see what you're going to learn about this ship. Do we see the life forms in the room that we beamed in?
Not at present. Right now, you're just like kind of in a corridor. Down the corridor, you can. It's not a very big ship because you can kind of you look down the corridor, you can maybe make out what appears to be a bridge of some sort, and then there's some rooms off to the side from the corridor, and I would not say it's probably not a very uniform type pattern. What are you scanning for?
Immediately, I want the composition of the atmosphere in the ship and the life signs.
The atmosphere you already know, and it's similar to that of Earth. It's just the oxygen level is a lot lower. There is a little bit higher levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere of the vessel, and the ambient temperature is just a few degrees above centigrade from freezing.
One of us is feeling rather comfortable right now.
Yeah.
Yep, and only.
Your tricorder does pick up the life signs, and they're fairly close. It's just it seems that there's a room above, or below, or to the right. You're not really sure.
Well, we're heading in that direction. Commander Shran, you are.
Real quick though, give me control plus con, difficulty of 1, to kind of navigate into the adjacent room. Gain momentum.
Commander Shran, you want to find whatever passes for an engine room here, and see if we can see what you can figure out what's wrong with this ship.
I'll see what I can do, but I make no promises, sir.
You're an engineering genius. I have full faith in you.
Why, thank you.
Shran, give me control plus con difficulty 1 to kind of navigate towards the back end of the ship.
Okay. Roll 20 is being weird for me, so I've got my sheet pulled up and I'm rolling in Discord. I'm guessing I probably don't have a focus.
No.
Yeah, figured. Let me get a momentum from you.
1 spent.
1, no comp.
You managed to navigate towards the engineering section. What is Desmond and Sai doing?
Sai's a specialist, so probably not doing much without being told to do it. Check looking around for any internal security that might blast them, but
There does not appear to be anything like that. This ship looks like something out of early space explorers would use in terms for design elements.
Desmond's probably just going to follow after Dr. Quinn, if nothing else, because he's the OA team lead.
yeah. And I mean, Sai's got forensics at least, so she can help with that if we need it.
It'd be control con difficulty 1.
Okay. Is Vogel back to do Sai, or am I still doing her?
Your department, man.
Okay. Okay.
Besides, she's listening into the comms, so she can kind of.
Exactly.
So if you guys start yelling for help or screaming in terror, she's going to know and be able to tell the captain what's wrong.
Control con difficulty 1. Yeah.
Throw momentum at it for Desmond. Pay.
Hey.
2 momentum gained. The two of you join the doctor. In the room where the doctor went into, you could definitely see it's some sort of habitation area, but a line along the wall appears to be 6 pod-like structures embedded into the hull or the walls of the ship.
Cryopods, you think, Doctor? Or resting pods?
Perhaps. Is that where the jam? Is that where the life sign readings are coming from?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to find an active pod and scan it, and direct Desmond to scan the other one. I'm assuming there are 2 that are active since there are 2 life signs.
Actually, all 6 are active.
Are they all occupied? No. go over and look.
You sort of float up to the first pod, and it would appear that whoever was in this pod has long since perished. As your tricorder reads, no life signature. But remarkably, they do seem to be well preserved. In fact, the species in question, they appear to appear, they appear to be very humanoid-like, with some slight cranial ridges on the sides of their forehead and their ridge nose area, along with a few spots going down the side.
All right, I'm gonna try to find the tubes with the living individuals. Cy and Desmond, you can help me with that.
Give me reason plus medicine difficulty of 2. And Desmond can assist with that. And Sai.
That's an 11 for Psy.
Hey, you might get it.
Let me throw a momentum at it.
I was going to laugh if Psy helped more than Desmond, though. They both got 19s. Wow.
Fudge.
The you've 2 pods that you managed to find. Appears that the 2 occupants one appears to be a male, whatever species this is, and the other one is a female.
I'm going to use the medical tricorder to ascertain their condition while cataloging their biology and anatomy and whatnot, since this is an unknown species as far as I know. I'll check the male and Desmond will check the female.
So give me reason plus medicine from you, doctor. Difficulty is actually going to be 3.
Okay, and I've got focus xenobiology.
Yeah. And it'd be the same roll for Desmond.
And I will throw a momentum at that as well.
Desmond is rolling for her own for the other patient. There'll be no assist for it.
In that event, I'll just roll the other one, I suppose.
Unfortunately, Desmond is not able to get any really good scans on the occupant other than it is a humanoid female. It does appear that their life sign is fading. You're not sure why, because they do appear to be in some sort of stasis pod or cryo chamber. As for you, Doctor, it's a similar result for the male of the species. However, you able to ascertain that it appears that he is slowly dying of something. You're not quite sure what it is. You'll have to do a more thorough examination on the ship.
but they do appear to be in stasis.
Yes, they are currently in stasis, but their life signs are weak and getting weaker, emit slowly.
Captain Quinn to the Tenchi.
I beg your pardon, Doctor. Sorry, I'm not the one answering anyway.
Go ahead, Doctor.
Captain, I've got 2 patients down here, life signs fading. Request emergency medical transport to sick bay. Set up an isolation lab. Set into the isolation lab I have set up.
Understood, Doctor.
In foreign transporter room, this could be complicated. Both the patients are in stasis chambers. GM, can I tell if it's going to be safe to transport the 2 patients straight out of the stasis chambers? Do I need to try to take the stasis chambers with?
There are some things that I cannot answer in that because you're gonna have to have someone else look at that in terms for the stasis chamber, because to do more of an examination on it. It is. I'm gonna tell you right now. It is unclear on that.
Commander Strands, Quinn, I need you up here quickly.
I'll get there as soon as I can, sir.
And real quick, while you guys were examining that, I'm going to backtrack a little bit, give Sastran a roll here as you're looking through the engine room. Admit it is very primitive. Give me reason plus engineering difficulty of 2.
Reason engineering diff 2. That is. Oh, I hate you. Let me get a threat.
You're giving me a threat?
Yeah, because I've got bold engineering. Like, yeah. Oh. That's 3 successes right there.
You get a momentum out of it. In the engine room, it is definitely what would be considered like a almost prototype warp core reactor. Your best guess is this ship is only able to do maybe maximum warp of warp factor 2, if that at all.
Ooh. Okay.
But other than that, the actual ship is still working and in perfect working order. It appears that the vessel is sort of on a standby mode.
Okay. Huh. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what to do right now. You know what? I think I'm gonna go on ahead and possibly try to bring main power back online.
Main power isn't offline. It's in a standby mode.
Return it to operating status then. Or at least try to get do I know if the setting for the life support that they have had is their normal life support setting?
For a momentum.
Sure.
No, it is not.
Okay.
It appears that the ship powers down most non-essential things and keeps things running at a certain operational level when it's currently in a standby mode.
Okay.
And I'll give this to you. They put it in standby mode roughly 20 Earth years ago.
Wow. Okay.
And by this point in time, the doctor would have called you to his location.
Okay, then I'll head up there.
Control con difficulty of 1.
Control con diff 1. I'm just going to roll it flat. I got it.
And you arrive into the room where the doctor is currently at.
You said you needed me, sir?
Absolutely, I need your help, Commander Shran, to find out if we can transport these patients directly out of these stasis chambers without injuring them further, or if we need to take the entire stasis chamber with us. We need to find out quick. These people are dying.
I'm going to run a scan of the stasis chamber, see what materials it is made out of.
Give me reason plus engineering difficulty of 2.
Reason engineering difficulty 2. Take a threat. Reason engineering is a 12. Reroll 1. There it is.
All right, you get it. No momentum has been gained. I will type it to you.
Well, Doctor, you have a problem.
It is.
Number 1, the pods are made out of the material that block transporter use. And second, the pods can't be removed because it would cause decompression. They are actually part of the superstructure. The only option if you want to save their lives is wake them up.
Then let's do that. I'm going to start looking to see if I can figure out how to cycle these things. Strand, see if you can figure out how to cycle these things off. Get
All
Desmond.
right.
Shashran, you attempt to kind of use the computer system to activate the wake up protocol procedure. It appears that the pod will not let you activate it. It's giving up some sort of warning that you're not quite sure what it means because it is an alien language, and the translator is trying its best to translate it for you to the tricorder.
Hmm. Probably environmental.
Possibly an access code requirement, says Desmond.
Could be that too.
I will note there is a override procedure for it.
Oh, like an emergency override type deal?
Sort of, yeah.
I might caution against overriding the system. That warning they're giving us may be a safety that if we open these, they may be their biologicals might be compromised. This may be their version of a
Agreed.
biobed or life support system.
Agreed.
Well, they're dying either way. But the warning may be for some sort of contaminant in the individual.
A biohazard, that'd be another warning you want to put on one of these things.
Tenshi, this is Quinn. Can you transport me a medical containment suit for myself? Sharan, show me how to override that thing.
Doctor, if you wish for there to be a biocontamination suit, I think we'll need enough for the entire away team, sir.
I'm not going to put the rest of the away team at risk. I'm going to send them back.
Oh, okay.
Just a heads up here, if this doesn't change your minds on this. It will be an extended task, daring plus engineering, difficulty of 3.
Send a suit for Shran as well.
That will be 2 momentum to have that.
For the suits.
Yes.
Yeah, 4, so we'll live.
And I am assuming the other 2 transport back to the ship.
I'm not putting more personnel at risk than I have.
Understandable.
All right, Shran. As soon as we get suited up, let's see if you can get these guys out.
Yep.
Daring plus engineering, difficulty of 3, work 12, magnitude 3, resistance of 2.
Well, finally a good roll. I'm joking. Daring engineering difficulty, whatever it was. I'm guessing I don't have a focus.
Yeah, no.
Okay, well, just remember I do have Nick of Time and Miracle Worker. Take 1 threat for rerolls. And how much momentum do we have left right now?
2 on the table.
Okay. I'll leave those there just in
Okay.
case I get an extra complication. Yeah. That would be 3 successes.
Ow.
0, 7. This is
7
for
challenge
the
dice,
work.
please.
2 effects, 9 work.
That actually is 7 successes because the resistance is 2.
Yeah, and I don't have intense scrutiny. I do get 2 breakthroughs though.
Okay. Daring engineering difficulty of 1. You need 5 more to beat the work track, or at least, well, 5 anyway to get a breakthrough.
Okay. Take 1 more threat. Oh, hey. That's 2 1s and a 12.
So that is 5. 4 momentum gained. I believe you're capped, so 7 challenge dice, please.
I'm gonna spend 1 of the momentum for piercing.
All right. And that will complete the extended task. As you work digitally, and then you go through the override process, and a loud hiss noise be heard as the pods open up, and the 2 occupants kind of float out of the pod slowly.
Okay.
All right, get them clear of the pods so we can transport. Quinta Tenshi 4 emergency medical transport straight to sick bay.
Aye, doctor.
That will be a control plus engineering assisted by the ship's sensors plus engineering difficulty of 2.
I'll grab a leaf. Have a threat.
Immediately put 4 of us behind an isolation field.
That should be enough. He really should be able to get this. Yep. Plus the ship, which will give us a sensors engineering. Yep.
I believe you're capped with a float. Or 2 float.
2 floats, so that field is that isolation area is already set up. He can't do that from the transporter. 2 float for party hats. I don't know.
I will say Desmond is already in hazmat gear and waiting in sickbay to help with this.
Like a chump. I mean, like a doctor. Sorry.
And Dr. Desmond, clear. Check Lieutenant Commander Sharan for any biological containments to get him cleared for duty. Sharan, you have to stay in sick bay until we get you cleared.
Understood.
And then Quinn is going to go working on grab one of the other doctors and start working on his patients.
Your other doctor's a counselor.
You go down.
Roll 1 up.
Next scene, so you're down 1 momentum.
I suppose you do have the CMO power, so you just have a person there, a team there.
Um, are you scanning the patients first, or?
I'm handling the patients while Desmond gets our chief engineer cleared.
Desmond needs to roll for me a reason plus medicine difficulty of 2.
Spending a momentum.
Get the momentum back.
Mm-hmm. If you just hold still for me, Lieutenant Commander, this shouldn't take very long. There seems to be some sort of biological material on your suit. Just don't move for a little bit. I'm going to try to get a sample of it before I sterilize your suit. Just try not to move around too much.
Okay.
Desmond's going to get an appropriate bit of gear in the room to get a sample of the material to put in like a test tube or something like that.
Control plus medicine difficulty of 2.
Okay. No, I know what focus it would be, and she doesn't have it. Spending a momentum. I don't want to screw this up 2 more for 2 dice. I'll reroll that 0. I'm going to try to claw back what I lost.
Complication. All right, 2 momentum gained. Desmond manages to collect samples off of his suit and place them in the appropriate containment.
All right, now to try to sterilize that part of your suit before you try to take it off.
Of course.
How are you going to sterilize it?
I imagine. I don't know if it's in the book, but I imagine there'd be some equivalent of a the words aren't coming to me. A device that would sort of be like a low-powered phaser meant to clean or sterilize something. Like literally just applying heat to it until it just burns it away. But not so much that it burns through the suit.
The portable version of whatever 24th century doctors use to sterilize their hands.
Or even just high power, or just a high power water jet, I suppose. But I'm trying to destroy it. Actually, I'm able to get it off. Or some other decom procedure. If it's a full suit decom, then it would either be I'd either have to move him to a different room, I'd assume, or bring him into a chamber that would like just sterilize the suit with some level of radiation or energy. If that's something the ship's equipped with. I presume there's some version of decontamination device. Maybe not the blue room with the gel, but something.
Usually that's what transporters are for, but
Oh, so that's not a good sign. In that case, actually, Medical Bay, the transporter room. Could you please reacquire Lieutenant Commander, the Lieutenant Commander in front of me, Thashran, and isolate toward. Actually, you don't know what to look for. Stand by. I'll get back to you. Don't go anywhere, Lieutenant Commander.
I'm not moving.
And don't touch it. I don't know what it is yet.
Touch what?
That bit on your arm, just don't touch it.
Oh.
And she's going to try to examine. I just realized she's going to try to actually scan and get a good solid, if nothing else, a good solid scan for something the transporter could use to try to find it, and then possibly transport him into the buffer and then filter out that biological away from the rest of the person. So kind of destroying it via transporter. Because the transporter may have just left that alone out of fear of like, well, that might be important. Let's not destroy that.
for 2 momentum, I will say you can do that.
Okay, so she. All right, transporter room. I sent you the data. You should be able to filter it out now.
Where is he beaming straight to the pad from his current location, or?
The pad's gonna beam him from where he is back to exactly where he is, because he still has to be in isolate. Well, yeah, I want him still back in isolation, so in case it doesn't come off him like it's supposed to.
Control plus engineering difficulty of 2, assisted by the ship's sensors plus engineering. And while we're at it, I'm going to throw site of threat.
Mm-hmm.
Comp 4.
Comp 4. Yeah, that makes sense. Pinging myself so I don't forget because I didn't do that. But anyway, giving you a threat for an extra die. It's diff 2. You should be able to get this on a bold with technical. Yeah. Deal with that as it comes up. Since there's engineering, comp 4, sorry. Gonna re-roll that complication, try to get rid of it.
Comp.
Yeah. Burn 2 to get it to go away.
Does he have technical expertise?
He does, yeah. Oh yeah, he can re-roll his 0. That's right. I keep thinking it's only the ship he can do that too. I don't know why I keep thinking that.
Comp state.
Shouldn't have said anything.
I know.
I have GM kicks himself.
I had to be fair to you guys, so
Yeah.
3 momentum gate. And it's like he never left, and he's back standing there.
And she's gonna give it a quick scan, make sure it didn't just reappear.
It's been filtered out.
And yeah, okay. All right, you're good to go.
Why,
Thank you for your
thank
cooperation,
you.
Lieutenant Commander.
No problem.
Yeah, you're fine. You'll be fine. Doctor, you have 2 patients currently laying down, and you can kind of tell they're kind of wheezing a bit.
Well, my first thing to do is attempt to get them stabilized.
Give me a quick scan though, because you're gonna be able to get a bit more in-depth information. And you also have the ship assisting you on this, so this will be reason plus medicine, base 2, but difficulty of 1, since the ship is assisting with sensors plus medicine.
Xenobiology focus?
Yes.
Medicine.
And since it's the span, I'm going to throw momentum at it.
Boop, boop, boop.
Damn.
3 momentum is gained. There is a complication currently on the table. Do you have cautious?
No.
Okay. So you can spend 2 momentum, which you currently have 1 float, to squash that complication, or I can use it.
Let's squash that complication.
Okay. It would appear that as you look over both patients, they do appear to have some sort of like red rashes on different various parts of their body. Some skin lesions have formed. As you look sort of at their blood platelets, appears that they're suffering from a form of anemia, which essentially means that their equivalent of red blood cells is on the rather very, very low side. And they are running a slight fever. It does appear that they're getting a lack of oxygen, but that could also be due to the anemia and their low platelet count.
Treat those symptoms.
For momentum, you can kind of stabilize them. But the symptoms are going to continue, if not get worse, if the underlying cause is not found.
All right, I'm going to spend the momentum to stabilize them and start looking for the cause of the problem.
Okay. With this, we're going to go to the lovely scientific method, where you guys pick a current department, which is the obvious choice, medical.
Security.
For this. Security. So we're going to use security to treat this.
We shoot them. That solved the problem.
Yep, focus on hand phasers.
I suppose. But yes, I just need to know what department you're using, which, if it is security, so be it.
I think we'll use medical just for
Okay.
that.
At this point, you need to pick between 3 to 5 focuses. Does not have to be on your character sheet. And anybody with a medicine score of 2 or higher can assist with this.
That is not me.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know something funny?
No.
The Shrine has a medical score of
Waha. The captain might help, but he hasn't been told anything's wrong yet. He hasn't gotten a report. He just knows people are on board his ship, and it's like, well, I don't want to bother the doctor if he's doing something, so I'm not going to poke at him.
Well, the doctor thinks. Quinn to Bridge.
Bridge here, go ahead.
Captain, we've got 2 patients from the ship transported to medical. I've got them stabilized, but they've got some interesting symptoms. Still trying to figure out the cause of their symptoms. Looks like Dr. Desmond has got your engineer cleared to go back to work, but I would caution against sending another away team over the ship until we figure out what's going on.
Is there anyone left over on the ship?
No, sir. I brought everyone back.
Wait, of all of the life forms that are over there, you brought 2?
There were only 2 of the aliens, and I brought my entire away team back.
You weren't able to make contact with any of them?
They are not conscious at this time, Captain.
All right. Lieutenant Sarissa, get a tractor beam on that ship. And Khan, let's start moving back toward Federation space. I don't want to hang out here longer than we have to.
Captain Commander Shran had a few moments to poke around their engine room. He might know more.
Oh, very well, Doctor. I will, once I've touched base with engineering, I'll look over this some of the files with you if you like. I have some studies in dealing with alien life forms when it comes in recovery efforts, so I'm not sure how much insight I can give, but I'll do what I can. If nothing else, I'll be able to pull from Starfleet Medical if I have to.
Good, Captain. I'll copy my files to your pen.
Thank you. I think that roll's aimed at you, Sarissa.
Sorry, I was being talked at by someone else. Conveniently at the same time. Say that again, please. Right, it's control security to
yep, tractor beam lock.
Yes. Okay, control security. Oh, it's almost like shipboard tactical systems is a focus here.
Mm-hmm.
And cautious security, a momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because I would rather not whiff.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Almost. Let me. I could re-roll that. Okay.
Yeah, worth a shot.
It was 1 lower.
Yeah, and the Tenshi gets a tractor lock on the alien craft.
A strength what tractor lock?
Yeah, we're not losing it. Ridge to Lieutenant Commander Safran.
The Shran here.
We got a lock on the derelict ship, and we're about to bring it back to Federation space. But I wanted to know how fast you think that thing can rate at warp speed, even if we bring it into our warp bubble. Will we shake this thing apart if we go too fast?
On that thing are rated for.
Say again.
Are rated. Warp.
You're very quiet. Sorry.
The engines on that ship are only rated to go warp 2.
Yes, but can the structure of the ship withstand higher than warp 2?
I don't think so. No, sir.
All right, very well. Doctors made a recommendation. No one goes over there until we find out what happened to them. But I would like you to start doing some studies on what, once it's cleared medically, to how we could bring it back to working status again. If nothing else, if these people come back, it would be nice if we gave them a game plan on how to fix their ship.
I'll see what I can do about it, sir.
Contact me when you have it one way or the other.
I will, sir.
Thank you. Bridge out. Con, warp 2, and no faster, please. Back to Federation space for the time being.
Aye,
Unless
sir. Our arrival time back to Federation space will be 3 days at warp factor 2.
the benefit of not being too far from home. Lieutenant Vogel, if you can figure out some way that we can move any faster without breaking our guest ship apart, feel free. Otherwise, I'm going to be in the. I'm going to leave the bridge over to Lieutenant Sarissa for now. I study over this medical problem.
Aye, Captain.
You have the bridge, Sarissa. Try not to lose it.
Make sure not to do that.
The captain will retire to his ready room so he can assist Dr. Quinn as best he can. Probably more reading up on files and stuff than anything. It's like, I'm not a doctor, but I can research. As in, I have a medicine too, so I can help at all. I don't have the focus for this though, so sad face. Disman would have reported that, yeah. But there was a strange thing on the suit. She doesn't know what it is. But it's in containment and it's been sterilized. Desmond can help, and Sabrina could help because she has medical. If you wanted to burn the crew support on it, if you wanted the extra die. Because right now Desmond's already active, so you might as well use her anyway.
So that gives me, Desmond, and the captain.
So far, yep. As for your suggestions,
You are currently a 2 crew support, and it's actually gonna be closer to 15 days to get back to Federation space at warp factor 2. I forgot how slow warp 2 really is.
warp 2 is very slow, yeah. But if the Tholians look at us, they can see that we're moving away from their space, so we're not getting any closer. We're making an effort. Leave us alone. Xenobiology, immunology, internal medicine, medical toxicology. I think that's a good opening volley to see if any of that sticks. If it doesn't, we can start looking into the oddball answers.
All right, I'm thinking maybe, and this I guess is a GM question. Maybe we should look at, or what do you think, Cap? Maybe we should look at. I'm thinking we need to look at whatever it was Desmond found on Tran's suit.
This is what you're analyzing everything, including their symptoms, what's in their bloodstream, plus the samples that Desmond collected from Shashran's suit. It's a very hard thing to say, that name. I'm just saying. Doesn't roll off the tongue as easily.
And Dorian names, what do you want?
So, are we going with those 4 to start with, or is there a 5th one?
Let's go to these 4 to start with.
Yeah.
It is none of those.
Ooh, that's unfortunate. Now we have to go into the oddball territory. Well, let's. One suggestion I would say, because Desmond has it, and it's probably something she would say, is viral.
Virology.
Thank you.
I'll take that. I'll take that suggestion. Might add imaging systems to that. Maybe that helps us get more information.
On the auspice that we're trying to find out what's wrong, and maybe we just need a more experimental imaging system.
Yeah,
That's an idea. Where's the medical stuff? There it is. That wouldn't apply here. What were their symptoms again? They were having a hard time breathing, or they were suffering from sort of anemia.
They had anemia. They had a rash.
Skin lesions, and they were running a fever.
I guess we could throw rheumatology in there.
In case it's a joint, it's somehow a weird joint bone problem.
Yeah.
That's manifesting in a really weird way.
Something related to the stasis pods.
Xenotechnology or medical technology.
Yeah, something like that.
That's 3. I'd say just we might want to just take a stab at those 3 to help us narrow down further. Worst to worst, the GM gets a threat, and we narrow down our list.
All right, so we decide on rheumatology, imaging systems, and virology.
It is one of these.
All right, which one do you want to chase down first?
Just to clarify, so you pick one of the 3 from your selection that I told you it could be a possibility of one of those. The difficulty is unknown, so you'll be rolling dice until essentially I tell you you got it. There's a possibility that you may go down the wrong track and not realize it. So.
So which theory do you want to try to chase down first?
I think I want to chase down the virus theory first.
Okay, which Desmond will have a focus, thankfully. No one else will, unless you happen to have virology on your sheet. Now I see it right.
I do not. The only one of the ones that we picked, the possibilities that I have on my sheet is imaging system.
Yeah. There's 3 momentum on the table if you want to grab any of it. Just keep in mind we can't claw any of that back. Once we spend it, it's gone for the duration of the scientific method. Unless something else happens on the ship.
Well, let's not hope for that.
Yeah.
Let's spend 1 just so we can see if we're on the right path.
Okay. So hopefully you get at least 1 success. Otherwise, me and Desmond can't help you.
This will be reason plus medicine, difficulty unknown.
I'm awesome at reason rolls.
And who else is assisting on this?
Thatton and Desmond. Would anyone else like to roll for Desmond? Just for the sake of it?
I'll do it if no one else is.
Oh, you rolled the. I'm of no help.
Wow, that is worse than no help almost. I'm assuming that Desmond does not actually have a focus here, does she?
She does.
Desmond.
We're doing virology.
Oh, okay, never mind. Fantastic.
There's a complication.
I think we should get rid of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab those momentum and kill my own complication. Sorry.
Okay, good, because the complication went up the difficulty by 1. But you guys do work tirelessly, and you do manage to get it. This whatever pathogen it is actually appears to be some sort of virus. It operates similar to lupus. However, it's much more, I actually say, deadly. It appears that it has it's rather fast acting. The first symptoms include essentially itchy skin, a red rash around the infection area, which later then evolves into skin lesions. As it works more inward into the actual body, the patients develop anemia, fever, and extreme fatigue, which then eventually leads to organ failure and death.
Well, that's all fine and good. Go ahead.
As for the name, it is unknown, but it is definitely some sort of like pox-like disease.
I mean, you discovered it.
We'll call it Shranpox.
Well, if you want to give credit for finding it to somebody else, that's your call. So that's all fine and good, doctors, but what exactly can we do to help them? How do we cure them?
It is treatable. Essentially, you just have to create an antiviral medication and eventually sort of like a vaccine to treat the subject or anyone infected with it. It's Go ahead.
Oh, sorry about that. I was going to ask the captain. I'll work on a vaccine. Perhaps we should scan the ship to make sure that this thing didn't get loose aboard our ship, and scan the alien vessel. Since I popped those stasis pods, virus is probably airborne on that ship, possibly.
I will tell you this: you do know from your research that it is not airborne. It is it's absorbed through touch. Essentially, the flakes that were found on Sistrand's suit were actually closer to skin cells, like dead skin cells, essentially.
When the bodies are being moved around, they probably got on the suit.
Yeah.
Especially in GRG.
And that stuff is just floating everywhere aimlessly. So.
Question the GM: would Starfleet protocol require a shipwide scan just in case?
I would order it anyway, just out of caution. Like a quick scan of our ship, make sure there's no errant flakes that somehow got somewhere or someone forgot to report something.
Give me reason plus medicine, assisted by the ship's sensors plus medicine, difficulty of 1. To scan the entire Tenshi for the pathogen.
What's the ship? Which is this plus this.
Uh, 3 momentum gained. And the only particles in terms of the ship is with the room that you're currently standing in.
Okay.
And
so once we treat them, we can sterilize the room for the flakes.
While I'm at it, I am spending 2 threat.
Does that change the sensor readings?
No, doesn't.
Okay.
It's in the room.
Rip one of you two.
Yeah.
Well, there's 3.
Oh no, Captain was helping from the ready room. He wasn't going into the contamination chamber because he knows he's not a doctor. He has no business being in there.
Yeah, that was. He was helping from the regular room.
Plus, he might be yelled at to come back to the bridge because we might be shot at by Tholians. That doesn't make me any happier. Just pointing that out. That's not good news. So, Dr. Quinn, is this something we could just... Well, let's get your patients treated first, and then we can worry about sterilizing the other ship of the contaminant.
Sounds reasonable, Captain. Dr. Desmond, I'm gonna put you. I'm gonna have you be the lead for developing the treatment for this, since you're the virologist, and I will assist you.
Dr. Desmond, give me fitness plus medicine difficulty 2.
Oh boy.
Thank you for the medicine roll. So buying a momentum. Fortunately, her medicine's kind of garbage, so 2 more momentum for 4 dice. And
She has a focus. Not really.
I'll reroll one of those.
You gain a momentum.
Sorry, what?
You gain a momentum.
Quinn rolled for himself for some reason. What?
Oh, Quinn did.
Oh, I thought I rolled for the...
So you missed.
Well, I was re-rolling for these 4. I was just surprised to see his roll. I was like, huh? What's going on?
You're rerolling 3 of them through a determination spend?
Trying to reroll just one of them to see if
Okay.
cautious medicine will do it.
Okay.
Okay, now she has to spend her value.
To be ready for anything these days does seem applicable.
Mm-hmm. Toward the value, I have to be ready for anything these days when it comes to serving on the Tenshi and her service back on the Tereshkova.
Sure.
Rerolling all those 3 misses, because why not? Bang. Just barely.
1 momentum. You do notice that you get like a little itch, and as you look, your suit somehow got torn.
It would
Feels
appear,
a
Dr.
little
Quinn.
dry and itchy around where.
Well, Dr. Quinn, it looks like I have been infected, so that's not good. I have a breach in my suit. On the plus side, I don't have to wear the suit anymore.
It's always good to look for a silver lining. Question is, did you develop a treatment?
Not quite yet. No, I just discovered this rather nasty itch, and I realized that scratching at it probably wouldn't have made sense given what we just discovered. So, she's gonna try to continue helping, but she's gonna get some, or she's gonna ask Dr. Quinn to help her resuit in in something so she can't recontaminate her tools. So she'll work for as long as she can until she medically just can't give any assistance. I don't know if you want me to throw any momentum or just say we grab that from the room. Because we're in a
You're in
medical bay.
sick bay. So any tools that are essentially opportunity cost of 1 are available to you. Anything beyond that, you have to pay for, which I think there's only like 1 item that's 2. So.
All right, so I guess I take over trying to develop the vaccine for this thing.
Yes, please don't develop the virus itself.
Aw.
I'll also be right back.
Give me daring plus medicine difficulty 2 to start creating a vaccine.
All right, I'm gonna spend that last momentum we got.
So you have 0 momentum. I will
Come back.
just take that as threat. That complication. You have 0 momentum. Momentum was spent there. Captain.
Okay. I was wondering why no one was saying anything to me. It's like, hello?
So yes, Doctor, you managed to come up with a essentially vaccine relatively quickly. And it could be easily administered to 3 patients.
I was about to say I have 3 handy guinea pigs right here. I will administer the treatment to all 3 patients.
You administer the treatment. Desmond is able to quickly recover from it because her exposure time was relatively extremely short, and the virus did not have time to replicate. As for the other 2, it will take a while for them to recover. So while we're waiting for that to happen, we're gonna go back to the bridge.
Mm-mm. All right. Lieutenant Vogel, is there any way you can think of where we could extend our warp bubble in such a way that we could move a lesser enforced ship, either with the tractor beam or some sort of other method, so we can move a bit faster? I don't mind having a leisurely ride, but Starfleet Command's going to be somewhat upset with me if I limp the whole way back home.
We should be able to extend our warp bubble to encompass the other ship in the tractor, thus allowing it to share our warp bubble.
All right, get the calculations in and check it over with Khan. Make sure we can. Once you're good with that, we'll increase to cruising speed.
I got it.
Oh, good. Oh, patients are recovering. That's always a good sign.
You will have to drop out of warp.
That's fine. We moved a little bit away from their border anyway, so dropping out of warp briefly won't hurt us none.
Hopefully.
Why is that on repeat?
It wants to be heard.
Bridge to Dr. Quinn.
Quinn here.
Your treatment, if we well, 2 parts question actually. One, can you detect if the alien ship is infected or otherwise not safe for biologicals? If so, if it is infected, I would like a method to make it safe again, because the sooner we get their ship back in proper order, the sooner we can determine who these people are and how we can get them home.
We should be able to. I should be able to scan the ship if I get access to the sensors, or I can send the. I can send the specs up to the science station.
All right, get back to me when you have a solution as to how we can clean the ship, if anything. And if your patients ever come around and you feel they're safe to be talked to, and safe to be with, to speak with, I would like to be informed.
All right, Captain. The ship does. The virus is active in the cabin. I drew the patient.
But not in the rest of the ship?
Not as far as I can tell at this time, sir.
Very good, Dr. Quinn. Thank you for your assistance. Bridge out. How are we doing, Vogel, to lock?
So I believe we're trying to extend a warp bubble, right?
Yep, trying to extend the warp bubble around it so we can pull it along without it rattling apart. Because we do have a tractor lock on it, so we are tugging it anyway. But
Just need to know if I need a roll or something.
To answer your question, Doctor, a low intensity phaser sweep would essentially cleanse a room. As for enveloping the ship into your warp bubble, you're gonna have to extend it. Let's make this daring plus engineering difficulty of 3.
ship assist with structure?
Yes. And yep. Go ahead and make the roll.
Can I burn a determination with the value nothing is more important than the mission? Because we're
No.
Damn.
It's not really. The reason why I'm saying no on this is this in fact is like recovering it is really not part of your mission. You're on patrol, so technically, like that's your directive currently. The ship itself, you could technically just leave it behind and go back to Federation space, and come back for it later, if need be. It's not a necessity to have the ship.
Okay.
Information is the key. Having it with us probably would be advantageous for further study of this new species.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be good in this case either. So I got 13.
Oh, I don't know why I closed the ship sheet. It still needs to help you. Duh.
Take 3 threat. Do I get any assist?
From the ship structure engineering.
Open from con.
Oh, from the
structure
lock?
engineering.
Yeah, from the con office.
No, because she's gonna be plotting a course
Right.
here in a minute.
Right, worth a shot.
Yeah.
Hey.
15 almost. Too short.
Hey, it was only a diff 3.
Yeah. I am spending 2 threat, however, to add a complication. You did extend your warp field bubble and managed to move it in closer. The only issue is you're gonna have to you're only able to achieve speeds of warp factor 4, which will significantly cut down your travel time, but it's still slow.
Yeah, and tugging ships, that's usually a thing in Star Trek anyway. You usually have to slow down because your warp bubble's more unstable.
It's primarily due to the fact that this ship is not
Helping.
yeah.
It's a piece of debris we're dragging along.
It would essentially, if it literally would break apart if it was traveling at speeds beyond warp factor 2. Like
Yeah,
even then,
we'd have to get
it could.
over. We would have to get over there and fix its structural integrity fields.
Yeah.
And it's just the way it's designed.
Yep.
Like
we'd have to rebuild it, which at that point,
might as well just
Captain,
give
I was
them
able
a runabout.
Go ahead, Cap. Your GM.
No, go ahead. That was just an off the wall comment. So
Cool. Captain, we extended our warp field around the alien ship. We're able to increase our speed to warp factor 4. Any faster than that, and I'm afraid she'll rip apart.
that's double our speed. So, make it so.
And I'll just nod to the con officer.
So instead of 15 days, you're gonna get to the border within a day. It's a big improvement.
Mm-hmm. Actually, speaking of, and the GM kind of reminded me of this. Ops, get me in contact with local fleet command. We need to let them know that we're deviating course to bring this alien craft back to Federation space. If someone wants to take the ship off our hands, I won't fight them, but I'm not leaving this thing out here.
And I'll press the buttons to make.
All right, you send that message out. Back in sick bay, you inoculated. You inoculated the 2. They are showing signs of improvement. In fact, one of them is slowly waking up.
Sick bay to bridge.
Bridge here, go ahead.
Captain, first off, low intensity phaser sweep should be able to cleanse that ship of the virus. But more important than that, I think one of our visitors is away.
Is it safe to speak with them at this time? Like medically, I mean?
They're through the virus. Could be safe.
Very well. I'll be down in a bit. Ow, ow, ow. Yeah, gonna head down and call Sarissa to come with me and give the con over to Vogel for the time being.
Aye, Captain.
I'm the captain now.
What was that?
Don't worry about it.
New scene. We can't be in negative momentum, so ha.
That's what you thought.
No.
So I have you guys in the turbolift down below.
Oh, there we are. Whoop. Sarissa, as much as I am enthused to speak with a new species, I do have to adhere to certain security protocols, given my rank. So I don't want you to make a move on them unless it's an obvious approach toward my person. Feel free to intercede if you feel it necessary, but I want these people to feel as welcome as we can manage.
I won't shoot them unnecessarily, Captain.
I wasn't assuming you were going to shoot them there, Lieutenant, but glad to know that.
Standard Starfleet protocol. Stun them.
Dr. Quinn.
Good to see you down here, Captain.
Hmm.
The male is starting to come out of it. The female is still unconscious, but they're recovering quite well.
Have they said anything yet?
They haven't said anything yet. GM, am I picking up anything telepathically off of them?
Oh, I suppose, yeah, you're an empath. That's right.
Sense of awareness. Before they were kind of like in, I want to say near coma-like states. They're just, well, it probably be more near coma. Like didn't have much brain activity. More or less, the body was sort of trying to defend itself during the time. As for the male, he does kind of start speaking a little bit. Where am I? As he's kind of squinting, from the bright lights.
Computer, reduce illumination by 25% in this room.
My name's Captain Athaton. Oh, rather, sorry. Walk that back. I'm Captain Athaton of the USS Tenshi with the United Federation of Planets. We came to your assistance as we found your ship derelict in open space. Who might you be?
Are you Starfleet?
Indeed, I am.
Thank the Lords. Our people, they need your help.
Who are your people? We're not familiar with your species.
Right, we're the Slavorians. Our world lies within the Tholians' space. We're suffering from a great plague.
Are the Tholians not rendering you assistance?
Why they care little for us. All we have to keep paying them tributes.
How long has this disease of yours been present?
Years. Time is running short. We need to. Please, you must help us.
What is your name, just for the record?
Crowder.
I'm assuming. Oh, not even close.
It's the pronunciation of the A and E. So.
Krar. Well, Krar, I will see what I can do. For now, I'm going to leave you in the care of my doctor. This is Dr. Elton Quinn. He's the chief medical officer aboard ship, and he will endeavor to make sure you both stay well. It's my understanding that he has stabilized the both of you, and you both should be well for now. Also, I have your ship under tow.
There's 6 of us. What do you mean there's only 2?
Doctor?
I'm sorry, Carr. Your other shipmates didn't make it.
But we were.
Krar, I need you to answer something important. Are you familiar with the Stardate system we use?
Stardate? No, is it?
He grabs a pad and starts pulling up what little we know of the Tholian frontier, which is very little. He'll hand a pad over to the person. I assume it's this person. Could you indicate where your world is on this star map? You just expand it using this gesture, and then you can press and drag as you need.
I'm gonna try and move this to the fleet map if I can.
Oh yeah, I dragged it all the way over there. Sorry, I didn't put it back.
No, it's all right. It's why. There's just so many tabs. So many. I played the Hatfield.
Agreed. Sure, Hatfield's fault. Oh man. Is he able to? I know on the map we can't see this, but is he able to indicate like right down to the star, like he can identify which system is his?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for your assistance. I'll have to look into our ability to assist. But I'll get back to you as soon as I can. For now, I'll leave you with the doctor, and he'll do what he can to keep you, make sure you're comfortable aboard our ship. As for your ship, with your permission, I would like to attempt to repair it back to some serviceable nature. In the event that you would need it back or want it back. I presume you'd want it back. He smiles.
The ship is not. Doesn't go very fast. How long were we out?
Doctor?
GM, from the scans I had, can I tell that?
Shran did say it was the stasis pods were activated 20 Earth years ago by his calculations. But I don't know if Shran told you that, but Shran learned that. It's probably the only one with the knowledge of it.
Captain, I'm not sure. Lieutenant Commander Shran operated the stasis pods. Maybe he knows?
All right. For now, Doctor, please make sure our guests are fine and well taken care of. I'll find out how long it's been. There's a variety of things I need to do before I can render assistance, but I will do it. I'll try to render assistance as fast as I can. I'll be sure to get back to you before the day's out, Crier. So I hope you feel better. And the captain's gonna turn and leave. I'm just gonna duck to the doctor's office, rubbing his head like, oh no. Sarasa, take a look where he pointed. He pulls out the pad. There's no way we can get that deep into their space.
No, there isn't.
We didn't happen to have a cloaking device installed in the Tenshi while I wasn't looking, did we?
No,
Okay, I didn't think so.
we did just pick up their ship.
Hmm?
We did just pick up their ship.
What do you mean pick up their ship?
The ship we have in tractor lock right now coming with us.
Mm-hmm.
Do a little fixing, a little modification, and there we go. It's not a Federation ship. That's not strictly legal, I don't think, but
Plus, with that space frame, if we used it as a way to infiltrate their space, we'd be getting there sometime the next few years or so. If it's warp 2 across the sector.
Did say modifications.
Oh.
It's more of just a passing thought than anything that might actually be done.
I'll keep it in mind. Yeah. I'm not sure what we're gonna do, Sarissa. I really don't. I want to help these people, but we just can't. We can't go diving into the border, not with things that tense as they are. And not to be morbid, but given they're moving warp 2 from that far away, it may be too late anyway. Keep an eye on our guests and make sure they don't go wandering around anywhere they're not supposed to. For now, as tributaries to the Tholians, I'm going to have to treat them as possible hostiles, but let's be as polite about that as possible.
Understood, sir.
You know, these people are suffering quite a bit, and there's no sense making it worse for them. So,
It feel like one of those. We are required to escort you, but things.
for their safety or something to that effect, and just make sure they're steered away from any critical areas.
Understood, sir.
I'm heading up to the bridge. I have to make a very annoying subspace call now.
Good luck with that.
And when he goes to the turbo lift, Captain Vogel,
Go ahead, Captain.
get me a direct line, priority 1 to Rear Admiral Nia. I need to consult with her.
Aye, Captain. I'll pipe it through to your ready room.
Thank you. Wow. That's the wrong one. Go away.
Multiple of atoms.
Fogo, give me control plus engineering difficulty of 2, assisted by these ships. Communications plus engineering.
Did you say control?
Yes, control engineering, difficulty 2.
See, we still have no
No
momentum.
momentum.
Take a threat.
Gained a momentum, and you managed to connect to Starbase 21 and patched
I'll
it through.
Yep, I'll pipe it through.
A few moments pass by, Captain, and the view screen icon from the lovely Starfleet symbol changes, and picture of Admiral Ney appears. Captain Athaton,
Admiral?
I'm sensing this is not a kind call, so what's going on the border?
Thatton checks on his computer. He checks to make sure it's encrypted. He calls for priority 1, so it's supposed to have some level of encryption.
That's why it's
That's why there
difficulty
was a
2.
roll. Yeah. Are you secure on your end, Admiral?
Yes.
At this time, we've encountered an alien species, a derelict ship out in open space between the borders. I broke patrol route to investigate to see if there's any assistance we could render. We encountered this alien species. Blah. The player didn't write it down. The name of the species. The Silvorians. We were able to rescue them from their ship. They seem to have some sort of illness, that the doctors, a pox of a sort, that we were able to treat. I'll save you the details on that. But here's the wrinkle. 2 things. One, at the moment, I currently have their ship under tow, since it can only move at warp 2. We're approaching back to border at warp 4 to bring it to safe space. However, I was able to speak with one Crayer, one of the survivors from the ship, one of the 2 that were left. He claims to be from. I'm sending you a nav file now from this star, and claims that their planet is suffering from a rather deadly pox or disease that's sweeping their planet. He knew who Starfleet was and was asking for our assistance, but my understanding is I would normally try to make contact with the Tholian captain on my own, but as I recall, we have strict orders not to avoid contact as much as possible. So at the moment, I have Tholian tributaries in my medical bay along with one of their ships, and I have a request for medical aid from a foreign power populace. So I wish to request your advisory.
Unfortunately, there is not much we can do, Captain, until diplomatic procedures succeed or not. We're not able to offer the Silvorians any aid. It's just another piece to the negotiating table. How long do you believe that they've been suffering through this illness? I would imagine traveling at warp factor 2 from that great distance would take them years, if not decades.
That reminds me, Admiral, one moment. Taps his comm badge. Lieutenant Commander Thashran.
The shrine here.
As I recall, I have the Admiral on the line here. As I recall, you were on the away team and you helped with the sleeping chambers, yes?
That's correct, sir.
Were you able to determine how long they were in stasis?
Approximately 20 years, sir.
Were you able to dig up anything from their computer to see if that's how long their ship actually been traveling for? I don't believe so. I don't think you did that.
No, I didn't look at their computer systems. I was more focused on the pods, sir.
All right. Doctor has a procedure as to how to sterilize their ship. We're at warp now, but I want you to make a remote link to their computer if you can, and try to see what you can. Speak with Vogel if you need some help with that, and see what you can find out about their flight plan and such.
Aye, sir.
Captain out. Well, there you go, Admiral. 20 years, according to their sleeping pods, although we don't know if they've been flying for that long. Doctor had to pull them over pretty quickly once he realized that they were in medical distress.
Assuming it's been at least at minimum 20 years, or well, at most 20 years, how dangerous is this pox virus?
Let me get you that file. Sending medical file 227 now.
So it's a highly contagious and
Not much danger to Tholians since it doesn't interact with crystalline biology. Anyway,
which is probably the reason why they can care less to help them. Doesn't really benefit them.
but having dead tributaries doesn't make much sense either.
It is possible the Tholians may have already helped them in some manner. The only thing we
True.
can do is try diplomatic channels. It's hard to say on the current status of the Silvarians, considering they're rather deep into Tholian space.
Given that they're Tholian tributaries, they haven't asked for us. They have asked for help. They haven't formally asked for asylum. I can talk to them to see if that's of interest to them. But what would you like me to do with them? I mean, I don't mind carting them back to Federation space or someone meeting us up because I know we're off patrol right now. But that's my current thought: is just get back to Federation space and hand them over to someone on the border, and then they can drag the ship and examine it. But technically speaking, we're holding a Tholian ship with Tholian citizens aboard this ship. I'm not sure how much they're going to like us taking them home without an asylum call. And even then, I don't think they'll like the asylum decision. Though I'm no diplomat, he shrugs.
I'll leave that call up to you, Captain, but this could be even a far greater diplomatic incident than what you're even suggesting, given on how the Tholians take this.
Would it be possible to get authorization to make contact with the nearest Tholian representative, if needed? Admiral? He starts standing up like he's waiting for her answer before he walks out of the room.
Use your best discretion, Captain.
If you excuse me, Admiral. And he'll tap the computer closed and rush up to the bridge. Report.
I sent the info to Vogel.
Vogel is AFK. As of some 10 minutes ago.
That a red alert? Or...
That's a red alert noise, yep.
Okay, so Cerise has probably been like, okay, getting a different security guy to go to those people running to the bridge.
Yeah.
Also, there's something... We can smell something burning in the house, but we can't see anything burning, so I'm just going to be right back while I look to see if it's... You know, the house isn't burning down.
Fair enough.
Science officer kind of comes back. Captain, there's a Tholian vessel inbound. It's on an intercept course.
Of course it is. Hail them.
You attempt to hail them. And on the view screen, here's a Tholian.
I'm Captain Mathattan of the USS Tenshi of the United Federation of Planets. Tholian vessel, please identify yourself.
This is Captain Nurik of the Tholian Assembly. You have 2 Solonian spies. You will hand them over at once, along with their vessel.
Please clarify, they're spies? I thought they were citizens of yours.
The Solonians are spies. They are working with the Federation. You will hand them over all information that they had given you at once. Or we'll presume this is an act of war.
Captain, it is my information from them that their species was suffering from a disease. We were able to treat them. Only 2 survived aboard the ship, but those 2 are living at this time. They did request our assistance, but I was actually intending to contact your government to see if you wanted assistance with the Solarian. The Savorians. Do you wish this aid? Because I don't mind zipping out there and helping you, even under escort.
Give me command plus presence difficulty. That's going to be opposed.
Yeah. Disarming nature, because I am trying to make it. It's like, no, I'm not spying. I'm not trying to pull anything. I'm genuinely trying to help you. More on a trust angle. Like, no, I'm trying to help.
Sure.
It's opposed, you say?
Yes, it's opposed.
I'll try this value first because I'm thinking spending spend toward determination of when we work together, the impossible becomes possible. Like I'm trying to, or toward the standing general order of maintaining peaceable relations is something I'm supposed to do as a captain, and this might be a way, a bit of an olive branch to calm things down between us.
I'll allow it.
Spending a momentum, giving you a threat. Just to buy a die. And I will give you 3 more dice to max out my dice.
Of course.
None of my focuses help me with this, because linguistics won't help me with this at all. Bang. Checking for veteran. Well, I'm gonna have to challenge. That's unfortunate.
Don't.
Don't? Okay, cool.
You got 2 successes anyway.
Oh yeah, I can do math.
Get
I'm good at math. I swear.
Yes, you have 3, and they have 2 complications. So
Woof.
I gained momentum then, actually.
yes, you gained a 2 momentum.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
of your disarming thing.
that's right.
Oh, what to do with the 2 comps?
Maybe this is a very nice Tholian. Who knows?
They're like, do we tell them everyone's dead? Complication, those people who've been dead long enough that this guy doesn't even know who they are. That's sarcastic. I hope it's not actually that.
It would count for not the Silverians, it would count for this actual character.
Yeah, it's this guy in particular who's whiffed, so.
Yeah.
Suggesting that he gives me more information than he normally would?
Probably. Yeah.
Because Tholians are usually closed mouth in general about anything. Ask him the weather, they go, "Why do you wish to know?" Dude, I'm just asking you the weather. Don't be difficult.
The Silurian disease is under control. You will hand over the 2 Silurian spies and their vessel.
Captain, in that event, I'm glad to hear that. That they're all right. You believe they're spies. Would you be willing to share the information as to share the evidence of their of any espionage activity? Because if they are doing it without our authorization, that is a crime, even in our circles as well.
The Silurians constructed a vessel 25 of your Federation Earth years ago. We have been looking for this vessel for quite a while.
Well, I can tell you with all honesty that that is not of any Federation make. The thing barely works. In fact, that's part of how we were able to find them. Believe me, if they were Federation spies, they'd be in much better gear than that ship. And I would have been briefed about them, for one. But all that said, that doesn't excuse them from their citizenship to your government, as I recall, or however they are within your assembly. I just simply ask that you consider the fact that I can tell you, for as far as on my honor, as far as I know on this ship, they aren't Federation spies. They simply seem to be, to me, a desperate people seeking an answer to a problem. And they ran to us. Which, if you wish to have a secondary solution, should this pox come up again in their population, I am willing to share that data with you to ensure that the pox doesn't spread again. You may already have the same solution we do, but it's never hurts to have more than one tool for the same job.
Give me presence command opposed. You're going to have a essentially free success.
Okay.
Account for the other complication.
Sure. I'll throw a momentum at it. Oh, you spent way more.
I'm rolling 3.
Oh, you're just rolling 3 dice? Okay.
Yeah.
Now
Or no,
I
4
will-
dice.
You are?
Sorry.
I'll match you.
Hey,
Give you 3 threat back.
2 threat, 2
2
additional.
threat, yeah, I can do math.
It's a whiff. Well, you get a momentum, but there is a complication.
And I'll burn it. Oh, actually, I got another. Sorry, I would have gotten 2, so I actually still have 1 left.
Yeah, 2. Yeah.
If you truly wish to aid the Civilians, then you will wait for a proper escort into our space. Any deviation will result in the destruction of your vessel.
There's a good pause on Athan's part because he's thinking about what he's about to do. Captain, I would very much like to help the Savarians, and if that requires us to go under escort, then that is appropriate since we are within your space. What I suggest we do then is we're probably going to come to a stop to let you catch up to us. Since we're in open space, it's fine if we're just meeting out here. I'm going to contact my admiralty to make sure I have authorization to do what I'm about to do. But other than that, I can probably get back to you within, say, 10 minutes. You'll probably get to us before then, I imagine. If that's all right with you. You have to understand. I hope you understand that I have a lot of discretionary power, but there's only so much I can do. And going deep into someone else's space is something I need to check in for.
Very well. You have 10 minutes.
Thank you very much. See you soon.
And they cut it before you can finish your sentence, the communication.
Khan, bring us to a stop.
Yes, Captain. Answering all stop.
I can't believe I'm doing this. Vogel, get me the Admiral again.
I can.
Might as well be in here because at this point it doesn't matter. You all know what I'm about to ask, so no need to be quiet about it. But priority 1 anyway, just out of caution.
Cirrus has probably made it to the bridge at some point during that.
Yeah.
And Vogel will raise the Admiral again.
Yes, so that's control plus engineering. You're setting the difficulty on this one. So what difficulty are you shooting for? Because it may be opposed.
Well, I'm not too worried about them eavesdropping.
Yeah. I'm more doing this standing on formality, if anything.
Yeah, so I'll
Okay,
just set it.
then
Yeah.
base. It will be base 2. Then, so
Yeah.
for priority 1. So control engineering assisted by the ship's communications plus engineering difficulty of 2.
Cool. I'll use the momentum we have.
Yep.
You get 2 momentum out of that. You know what? Let's see if they.
I mean, why
They're
not
gonna
try
listen
on
in
their
on this.
case? Oh, they're doing encrypting communication.
mean-
Maybe we should listen in. Hey, good for them.
They are. On screen appears Admiral Nea. Captain Athaton, I assume you have the situation under control. Do I need to divert vessels to your location?
Well, I made contact with a Tholian ship. That's what that red alert was about. But thankfully, I was able to de-escalate the situation. I've also secured permission to enter their space to go to the Savorians and assist them in any way we can. In that respect, I think that is, in my opinion, Admiral, I believe that is in the spirit of peaceful relations with the Tholians and my standing mission directive. Therefore, I would request that someone takes my patrol spot and I am allowed to engage in medical distress aid.
You can see this very pause from her, like,
what the hell are you talking about, you crazy cat? Like, if I have to roll a post, I will.
no, she's not gonna oppose you on this, but it's more like she just kind of looks at you very concerned. Captain, I am not going to fight you on this, but if you think this will help relationships at the negotiation table between us and the Tholians, then I permit this action. However, I urge you on the side of caution. So you're aware, if negotiations break down, we could be at war with the Tholians. And your ship is going to be in the middle of it. Are you sure about this, Captain?
Admiral, it's my intention to go through with this. However, I do intend as well to offer the opportunity for this to be a volunteer mission for any non-essential personnel. Should they wish to leave the ship, I would like them to disembark and head back to Federation space and be retrieved. But other than that, I think that if a soldier like me can even have one slight chance of making peace more possible, we have to try. So to answer your question directly, yes, I am sure.
We can have the vision within your location within 2 days to offload any passengers before you disembark. Please let the Tholians know that the other Federation vessel there is to come in and offload any non-essential personnel. Please make that clear, Captain. The last thing I want is for you to be the instigator in a unfortunate incident.
Admiral,
Unintentionally.
Admiral, I think we and myself and the captain, at least that I'm speaking with, seem to have good relations at the moment, so I should be able to make that fairly clear. And actually, with your permission, I would like to send a copy of this transmission to inform them in the spirit of openness, given that we're here in a mission of mercy. I know it's not really protocol to breach priority one messages like that, but I think it will work toward the idea of them trusting us than us talking over coded signals like we are.
Very well, Captain. I leave this to your discretion.
Next time you hear from me, hopefully I'll have nothing but great news to tell you.
Best of luck, Captain Fountain.
Admiral?
And communication ends.
Ops, send a copy of that last transmission over to our friends. Let them know what we were talking about.
I get
And inform them of the movements of the Vision to pick up any possible disembarkments.
I get them.
Captain to all hands. We have made contact with people of the Savorians, and they seem to be in medical distress. They need our help, and we have the means to help them. Now, the Tholians so far have told us that they have it under control. However, they have accepted my invitation to assist with this problem. Thus, I have gotten authorization from Starfleet to enter their space under guard to help the Savorian people as much as we can. Now, this does leave us with the possibility that should relations go poorly, we may be on a mission of mercy during a time of war. And I know many of you will understand that that will put us in a very delicate position. All non-essential personnel, you are authorized, if you wish, to disembark from the ship and return back to Federation space. Everyone else who is essential, as much as I would like to give you that option, unfortunately, duty requires you, and I require you to maintain your post. If you wish to leave ship, feel free to contact Lieutenant Vogel and arrange for transport. We have about 10 minutes or so to make your decision one way or the other. I know it's not much time, but at this point we have a planet to think about and a possible peace that we could help forge through this mission. Captain out. He sits down. This is insane. Lieutenant Vogel, make sure we flight and sorry, Vogel, that's not your job. Actually, it is not your operations. Lieutenant Vogel, please arrange for transport and arrange as needed. Sorry, I'm used to beat you in the science station. My apologies.
No problem, Captain. I'll make the arrangements if anyone chooses to leave.
It's 320 personnel wishes to disembark.
320 or 302?
Sorry, 302. I think I'm going to impose a complication. I'll spend more thread for that. Three of your departments are going to lose one in there because most
Because we're
almost
losing
half
so
your
many
ship.
people.
Yeah.
Yep. That's gonna suck. But that's the offer, and yup.
One in con, so you go down to 1 in medical, and 1 in security.
I'm gonna write this somewhere on the sheet. So pardon me.
I'm going to duplicate the sheet.
Oh, you are?
So
Okay,
just
good,
looking at the
thanks.
stats.
Yeah, it's easier to do it that way. All right, Lieutenant Vogel, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Dang it. Use what shuttles we can spare.
Nice.
For the rest, we're gonna have to give them escape pods if we're gonna disembark them that quickly.
Ship doesn't have saucer separation, does it?
It does.
Mm,
Oh no, did you guys get rid of it?
we did, yep.
Yeah, nope, so it cannot.
Someone wanted that removed. Actually, they'd have to tow us if we thought, because the one part wouldn't be able to warp, to be fair. Oh no, it'd be the way around, yeah. The one time that saucer separation would be a perfect idea.
Keep in mind, a lot of this is also family members too. They're disembarking, so.
Oh yeah. That was part of why, that was largely who was aiming that to. It just so happened a lot of non-essential other personnel were lost as well. It's like, shoot, well.
I also believe that the doctor is paged up and wishes to have a private meeting with you, Captain, in his ready room.
Tell the doctor that to meet me in the ready room. Ops, get me that the Tholian captain back.
Hi, Captain. Hailing now.
He stands up from his chair and adjusts his uniform.
We received your transcripts of the call. We accept the terms.
Very good. Just so you're aware, our current outlook is looking to be about 302 people. So there's going to be a lot of small signatures we're going to have to release. Just so you know what that is or is we're doing. Once they're away and away from the ship, we can coordinate with you and match with your warp speed as necessary and follow your flight plan. Although, admittedly, I imagine you'll want to send your flight plan to us before we start moving at all. But I think the safest bet for both of us if we stay close to you. Secondary, I
You
would
can
like your
wait
permission.
the 2 days for your
Say
other
again?
vessel to arrive. We
Oh,
will wait the 2 days for your other vessel to arrive. This will give us time to allow our fleet to arrive as well. We will stand by your current position.
oh. Well, thank you very much. That's much appreciated.
Oh,
What? No. Very well, Captain. Well, we'll be standing by at our current position until our pickup arrives. If you need to speak with us, you know how to call us.
Very well.
Tenshi out.
Captain.
And like being rude.
Yeah. Sarissa, go ahead.
It's not just my ears, right? He said he was waiting for, or they said their fleet. They're waiting for their fleet to get here as well.
Well, they're reinforcing their line, and we're gonna be breaching through their space. If I were them, I'd be watching for cloaked ships. We have the tech, and we've used it multiple times. So
I'm not exactly thrilled at the idea of an entire fleet being specifically here just for us.
Well, Tholians are very distrusting people, and I'm not. And what I'm offering is not something most captains are willing to do. Understandable, given that I do know that this is a risky bet. They're not Klingons, but they're angered the right way, they'll become just as vicious, if not more so.
Right, time to brush up on Tholian protocol.
Right. And remember, we're not at war. So we will act as if this is any other mission of mercy until they give us reason otherwise. Vogel, since we're given the 2 days, might as well let everyone know that they can wait for the vision and they'll get transported over.
Yes, Captain.
I'll give people more time to arrange their matters. And actually, Vogel, if you can manage to go around and talk some people into some of the, not the families and civilians, obviously, but if you can talk some of the officers and the listees to stick around, try to see what you can do, but don't push anybody too hard.
Very well, Captain.
I'll try to get Kato to go around as well, but... Doctor, come on. Especially you have the con.
Sir.
I kind of lean against the table a little bit. He just bothers sitting down. Like he doesn't expect this to be a long conversation.
Won't take much of your time, Captain. And I don't want. I'm new on the ship. I don't want to question your decisions, but is it absolutely necessary to put the entire ship in danger?
Our mission is to render aid in times of crisis and emergency. That's our job.
That I agree with, Captain. What I'm suggesting on volunteering, don't really want to volunteer, but volunteering. What if you just gave me a shuttle and the medical supplies I need, and just send me?
I thought of that. The problem is that if you require more of any technology that you're familiar with, or if you need housing, or if you need a hospital that isn't at their tech level, or even be able to contact us safely, you require Starship support for that sort of mission. Also, if this was any other species, if this was the Cardassians or the Romulans or the Klingons, we'd be sending a ship. Depriving them of our full service is to indicate to them they're not worth our time and that they are lesser importance to us. Now, it may not be the Tholians we're treating, but it's their people, their resources, as they may see it. But our dedication can go a long way into showing them how serious we are.
I understand, Captain. I had to make the offer. It's a lot of lives on the ship.
I appreciate it. I mean, that's why I wanted to give the offer to the non-essentials to step off. But when it comes to something this serious, we have to be sincere. It's a Cation thing where if someone is in need, you don't go at half measures. Either you're helping them or you're not. If you're not helping them, then let them starve in the field. If they are in help, you give them your food, your jacket, your bed. It doesn't matter. You help them. And I'll admit this is me being a little old-fashioned, even among some of the young Kate these days, but I gotta follow what I think is right, and hopefully not too much of the crew disagrees with me. I know you're not saying you do, but I know this is not going to make a lot of people aboard ship happy. So to that end, I would advise you to have your calendar open for possible counseling double duty, because I want this crew to be as calm and cool as possible when we go into ostensibly hostile space.
Understood, Captain. I agree with your reasons for going, and I agree with you. You never turn down the opportunity to do the right thing, which is what I'm doing in your office, volunteering to go by myself.
Oh yeah,
But
I know. You're trying to preserve
I'll-
lives.
I'll keep a ear, as it were, out for the mood of the crew.
And actually, let's be a little proactive too. When Kato's off of his leave time, have a word with him about arranging for some recreational duty for people. Try to get people to relax. Realize that we may be at yellow alert for a long time, but I want people to be sharp when they're on duty. I don't want them thinking we're ready to shoot at any moment.
Aye, Captain. I'll take care of it.
Anything else, Doctor?
No, sir. I won't take up any more of your time.
Thank you, Doctor.
Captain has the bridge.
Takes a seat.
Vogel, give me presence command to difficulty 2 to try and convince some of them to stay.
Presence command, you say?
I did.
Have a determination. Oh, I spent mine. Never mind. I can't help you.
You
I'm sorry.
know, this
I'm used to still having it now. Sorry.
you know that this might be a good opportunity to use this value. For nothing is more important than the mission, because that is the mission now, is to go help and rescue the species from this disease. We need our best and brightest people.
I would actually take never forget where you came from. On the
Okay.
guidelines, hey, you're Starfleet, don't forget that, we're out here to do, a job.
Yeah.
And you're turning your back away.
This is
I'll
what the
take
captain
it.
was yammering on about a few days ago.
I'll take it, and then I'll use that to momentum as well.
Yup.
Try to create some more. Huzzah.
Damn.
4. That 0 would not have counted anyway. You don't have been rolling 3.
Because that zero's technically already a
Oh
2.
yeah. Oops.
215 end up leaving. So that's quite a big chunk.
Could we possibly spend multiples of 2 momentum to help shave more of that to create extra advantages?
If you spend all of it, you're gonna go down in one department, but it will be random between one of the 3.
Sure.
One is security, 2 is con, 3 is medicine.
Please don't be medicine.
It's
Thank
con.
you. I mean, con's not great either, but
So yeah, 100 people end up leaving the ship.
Mighty fine job, Vogel. Mighty fine.
Thank you, Captain.
And just as a tidbit before we end today's session. Oh, that should not be playing.
We're not
Combat.
joking.
Just a tidbit. Combat music starts. Change to a battle map.
2 more vessels come in into range to form up against the center ship that hailed you, approached you earlier.
Mm-hmm.
As you wait for the vision to come into play, and with this will be to be continued.
Now, which vessel do we blame if we go to war?
The vision.
The vision. Okay.